Diagnosed with advanced cancer. Want to do something good for society before dying. Watching videos. Saw a little boy being forced to eat by 3 internet friends. Later became mentally ill. Unable to take care of himself. Everyone is furious. But the scoundrels are holding acquittal letters, smilingly saying it's all settled. What else can you do to us? Then I threw the 3 beasts into the cesspool. Held a cesspool freestyle swimming competition. Only the first place can survive. The whole competition was live-streamed, shining the light of the city into reality. The family of animals go find it quickly. My son is about to drown. The police stared at the screen without blinking. Let your son mail the express delivery. I've bought it for him. Today I was diagnosed with advanced cancer. It was still my ex-girlfriend who told me. I broke out on the spot. With my physique, these muscles, how could I have cancer? The ex-girlfriend sneered. Smoking 2 packs a day, you will get lung cancer. I subconsciously reached for the water and the cigarette. His eyes narrowed. Who's smoking? They have broken up and still bother me. I count to 3. I want to die. What's wrong with smoking? I won't smoke anymore. He reached out his hand. I speechlessly gave him a whole pack of cigarettes. This is about it. Say I'm going to work. Remember to send this thing early. After he left, I crumpled the diagnosis report and threw it into the trash can, feeling chaotic inside. 27 or 28. Parents died young. Work sucks. Breaking up with girlfriend is a mess. How did I turn out like this? Let's see the list of hospitals in the end. What was a childhood dream? It seems to be to become a detective cat, but look at me now. Can't continue writing after the first line on the list. I dropped the pen, opened the phone to kill time. Suddenly saw a video with the highest views. A young boy forced to eat feces by 3 people. Mentally disturbed. Life is not natural, and the bullies are running wild. I open it, a dirty-faced little boy sitting on the ground, covered in mud, clothes torn and in a mess. A man grabs his hair and slaps his face wildly. The boy cries and wants to fight back with his hands. His hands just raised, and then stepped on by another person, intentionally twisting his ankle harder. The little boy screams in pain, crying and begging them not to hit him. The crying only fuels the nature of the abusers, and they laugh heartily instead. Then a kick to the boy's face. The camera cuts to another scene. The little boy's face is covered in blood, kneeling on the ground, knocking their heads one by one. The photographer said to call for Dad. Call Dad, and he won't hit you. The little boy cried and said, Dad, but soon another kick landed on his head. He was kicking and scratching. It's no use calling for Dad then. At this time, someone brought a murky plate. I hadn't seen clearly what was on the plate, but someone had already recognized, damn, it's Oreos. Threw the plate down. The water spilled on the ground, getting a rim of dirt. The wet little boy hesitated, timidly looking at them. The abuser raised his hand. The little boy immediately begged for mercy. He picked it up and stuffed it into his mouth. A wretch. He cried and asked me if it was acceptable. Tears washed 2 tear marks on his face. The abuser did not respond. No motivation in sight, not knowing what was done. The little boy, frightened, acted quickly. Hastily picked it up. Ill eat, it's wet. He retched. Constant retching. At the end of the video, the little boy lying on the ground, eyes glazed over, involuntary convulsions all over his body. 3 streams of cloudy yellow urine poured on his head. I was shaking with anger. Wished to break the spines of these little bastards. A netizen tagged the account of the little bastards. Clicked to the top. The video was a declaration. Stop bitching and complaining online one by one. If you dare, come to my territory and face me. If you dare to come, I dare to make you regret it. Remember, my name is Huang Hong. Your dizzying eye shot is a picture of some tight-fitting clothes. Wearing tight, the picture of holding a swinging question. The exposed arm is also tattooed with a dragon head. The spirit of the young man is overwhelming. The comments section is filled with replies from anime Huang Hong. I sent him a private message, saying you kid are quite arrogant. He quickly replied, what's wrong with being arrogant? If you have the ability, come to me. I checked his location, just a 2-hour drive from my place. So I immediately went out to get some money and bought 2 knives. Go buy. Just his 1.65 meters, less than 100 pounds in weight. I can handle 8 cylinders. Buy the equipment and look. He updated another video. It's a letter of understanding. The boy's father has reached a reconciliation with them, compensated for less than 30,000 yuan. Don't bother about my son. I'm fine. Only 3 left that can't get in. Only the big ambition is left. Will you learn? I'll teach you. Brewing solutions. 3 people compared 3 middle fingers. Stupid. I turned around and bought a saw. By the time you guys arrived, your fingers were chopped off. 2 hours. The car has arrived. I took a photo and sent it to Huang Hong. Ask him to bring more people. Don't say I bullied him. A long time passed. Huang Hong still didn't reply to me. Sent a question mark and found out I was blocked. Coward. But you can avoid the first day of the month. Can't avoid the 15th. At the village entrance, the small shop is filled with cigarette packs. Showing the photo of a little boy to the shop owner. Does this family live here? The shop owner seems to have a deep impression of them, with a solemn expression. Is it old Wang's kid? How could I not know? He pointed to his head. Got bullied last month. And then something happened here. I was shocked. What does it mean? It's just not normal, you know? Quickly following the address given by the shop owner, I arrived at the little boy's home. Pigsty. The wooden door is half open. Faint moans coming from inside. I knocked on the door a few times. Pushed the door and entered. A foul smell hit me in the face. The lobby was simple. Only an old set of tables and chairs was visible. On top were a few broken items. Inside was still unfinished, such as facing north. Dim light. The little boy was lying on the heated brick bed, curling up in a ball, with a vacant stare, continuously stuffing the quilt into his mouth, muttering to oneself. The quilt has been bitten torn. If cotton gets stuck, it would be troublesome. I hurried to snatch it, but the boy pushed harder. I was splattered with saliva. I exerted all my strength, and finally took back the quilt. The boy sat on the bed, tilted his head back and said, I want to eat. Don't hit me if I don't eat. Don't hit me. His exposed skin had no good area. The anger surged in my heart. Who are you? A man's voice behind me exploded. I turned around and saw a middle-aged couple, dressed plainly. Before I could introduce myself, the man had taken a step and stood in front of the little boy. What else do you want with my son? The woman also pushed me hard. If you dare touch him again, I will fight you. I quickly said it was a misunderstanding. I came to visit the child. Their eyes looked at me. It was me who was careless. When I came, I just wanted to hack people. No gifts bought. Found the wallet. Inside there is over 800 bombs in cash. Gave it all to him at once. The man didn't take it, but his face looked much better. I grabbed his hand, slapped the money into his palm. His hand was very rough, but not cracked. Can you tell me what's going on? Let me see what I can do for you. Then they told me the whole story. It's not that complicated. The boy comes from a poor family. The early departure of mom, the sooner found. Dad works as a carpenter in the village to make money, but living in straitened circumstances. Those 3 beasts are wealthy and influential in the village. Other people's children usually like to bully him. Beating, scolding, and insulting are all common occurrences. The little boy's family dare not fight back. Just avoid them. Unexpectedly, it instead fueled their arrogance. That day, on his way to deliver food to his dad, the boy was caught by the 3 beasts, and thus the scene in the video occurred. Why try to reconcile first? This way, it's not good for causing trouble with him. What am I saying? The boy's father frowned. What is a letter of understanding? I took out the video paper to show him. He remembered. Oh, I don't know about this. I can't read. The village chief said that the duck speaking can give money to treat my son. The little boy said no, stomping his feet, cursing. These damn bastards must be cheating you. What did they cheat me? If you sign this and go, it's like giving up your rights. You can't make them take legal responsibility. Those words like rights and laws are for the boy's father. It seems a bit too obscure. After thinking for a long time, I still can't figure it out. Let me say it again. Originally, those few people were supposed to go to jail, but because you signed this, they don't have to go to jail anymore. The boy's father opened his mouth, his cheeks flushed with shame. Looking at his son lying in bed, he spoke with a choked voice. I don't understand these things. It's Dad's fault for all the suffering you've been through. Dad made you suffer. Nanan seemed to regain some clarity at this moment, reached out to help his father wipe away the tears. Don't cry. Don't cry. The child's aunt watched as the father embraced each other, red eyes, silently wiped away the tears. At this moment, the door was suddenly pushed open. Crows rushed in with 5 or 6 people. Wang Daiyong, what are you here for? The boy's father's face changed. Facing him was a bald man. Resist the orders. With a cold smile at the words, what are you here for? To ask you to pay back the money. When did I owe you? The bald man pulled out a piece of paper. The paper said, pay back the money. Just borrowed a few days ago. Now I have forgotten to read it clearly. Written in black and white. I snatched it over. Indeed, it is an IO. Said that the little boy's father borrowed 28,000 from him, but no signature, only a fingerprint. I immediately figured out the truth. It must be when signing the reconciliation letter before, the boy's father deceived him into writing this IU, so their child not only doesn't have to go to jail, they don't even have to pay a dime. The boy's father also realized, pointing at him, cursing angrily. Do you dare to do such a thing and not fear retribution? The bald man twisted his index finger backhand, stroked 1.6 forcefully. The meaning of retracting his hand is really to break his finger. I kicked him in the stomach, kicked him out. It's not just talk. In adolescence, I practiced Sanda for 2 years to show off. Although I haven't fought much in these years, I haven't lagged in martial arts. The bald man fell to the ground on the spot. The lazy bugger shouted loudly, grimacing in pain. He even looked and cursed. 4 youths rushed up. I'm totally unguarded, listened to the face being punched twice, then cried in front of them. When one person is just a kick. Soon 4 people fell to the ground and howled. I took out a folding knife from my pocket. The blade was revealed, stabbed straight into one of their stomachs, awkwardly being rolled over by him. The knife hitting the ground sparkled. Everyone could see. I was scared to death. If I hadn't dodged, this knife would have plunged into their intestines. You dare to come at me? The young people were scared out of their wits, scrambling to run away. Leaving behind a bald fat man, lying on the ground like a toad, I squatted down and patted his face, asking, weren't you just tough? Who the hell are you? I slapped him in the face. Dumbass swearing. Don't fucking swear. Say something respectful. His face was swollen. Choked out, brother. Who are you? I crumpled the IU and stuffed it into his mouth. Do you know what's going on in society? Been slapped in the face and told to talk to you. Kicked him. He pointed at his mouth and whimpered. Large tears rolling down, forgotten. Is there still something in your mouth? I used my foot to push it down his throat. Baizi is too dry. Baji is too dry. He almost couldn't catch his breath. I asked you, who is Huang Hong? He hesitated. Try my son. I suddenly got angry. Kicked him in the head. Turns out your son went back to the car, took a wrench, ready to knock on his door teeth. The boy's father stopped me. He has a relationship with the village chief. Even if he's tough, it's still in my hands. I laughed that this matter has nothing to do with you. It's purely personal. I beat the fat guy blue and swollen, then took him to find the little bunny. It's a coincidence. These 3 animals were playing games at Baldy's house, seeing the bald guy covered in blood. The 3 of them went crazy. Went towards me in a dense crowd. I'm 185 centimeters tall, weighing 200 pounds. Their average height is 165. Weight over 90 caddies. I knocked them all down with 1 slap each. The 2 people looked at each other without prior agreement. It has to be said that the beauty filters on Douyin are really powerful. Looks just like 2 people. I grabbed his hair and slapped him. Do you know me? He cried and shook his head. I slapped him again. How can you not know me? The prince cried and said, I really don't know. I gave him a third slap. Think hard about who I am. Dusk was settled by me and dare not refute. I don't know what to do with this face. Remembered it or not? He nodded. Who am I? And I get slapped again. Damn it, deceived my brother. Tears and snot coming down together. I really don't know who you are. I made a date with you in the morning. That righteous avenger. Chief Black Cat suddenly blurted out, and a little shame. He remembered and knelt down to kowtow to me. Black Cat, I was wrong. I was wrong. I was stunned. You're not wrong. I came to bully you. Now it's their turn. They were dumbfounded. I dislocated their arms in one go, then tied them up and threw them into the car. The bald guy tried to stop me, so I gave him a knife. TV shows are all lies. He didn't faint at all. I had to hit him on the back of the head with a stick until he dared not to move. I drove to an abandoned neighborhood. I had planned the route when I came so that I wouldn't be caught on camera. When I arrived, I put the three little things in the waves. They seemed to be scared by me. One or two can't take it. Can't play so ruthlessly. At this moment, I saw Huang Hong's eyes move. Turns out, he was pretending. I opened his eyelids, poured chili water inside. Soon he woke up screaming. Oh, I thought you were asleep. Also said on purpose. His hands were tied and couldn't rub his eyes, rolling on the ground in pain, like a fat white worm in the toilet. Brother, spare me, please. I won't dare anymore. Not dare what? Not dare to fight. It seems that he still hasn't realized his mistake. I saw his brother's dragon head. Uncomfortable. I have grown up like this, except for the appendectomy scar. The surgery left a scar. I haven't had a tattoo yet. Who did you learn this at such a young age? Who did you learn the little knife at such a young age? How do you get rid of this tattoo? Huang Hong cautiously started talking. It seems that it can only be washed off. Use a special machine. What a hassle. I took out the power and chainsaw from the trunk. Isn't it easier to just scrape off this layer of skin with a smile? His face was deathly pale. A foul smell wafted from the crotch. Scared to pee, but the game has just begun, right? I revved up the chainsaw. The exhilarating sound echoed throughout the venue. Terrified and pale. Kept rolling backwards. It wasn't until then that I knew why the villains in the movies like to slowly torture their opponents. The way they struggle is just too interesting. A yellow-brown trace on the ground. Yellow flood grind on the crotch. The voice finally hit the corner. Wave can retreat. Spare me. I was wrong and yelled loudly. Don't laugh at me. Huang Yan, how can a person as big as you bow to me? But I'm just a dog. You really shouldn't stoop to my level. I kicked him in the crotch in anger. Do you even deserve to be in charge? Are you as cute as a chihuahua? He grimaced in pain. Is there a chihuahua cuter than me? Am cute and modest? Saying you're cute, huh? Has so loving he can't speak. I squat down, holding a roaring chainsaw, slowly cutting open his pants, and then his underwear, just a thin layer, soon cut open like tofu. Don't move. One wrong move might hurt a vital spot. I kindly remind. Huang Hong remains still. I look up and see him rolling his eyes and passing out. This is too careless. I make a few cuts on his body, then squeeze out the mustard sauce. Throw it on top. Huang Hong made a scream that humans absolutely could shout out. Please spare me. My family has money. I can give you money, and definitely won't call the police. I promise. I slapped him. Back then, when you were bullying others, why didn't you think about letting others go? Hey, you just bully the weak and fear the strong. Little animal, have you ever thought that you will have today too? Brother, I promise I won't do it again. I can pay. Can apologize. My dad started a factory to make money, telling me to give all their money to them. This reminds me. You really should apologize. I take out my phone, facing the three of them. Give me a chance to explain. One person comes over to apologize. Huang Hong actively kneels on the ground. I'm sorry for being such a jerk. I'm not human. Even if I kick him in the face, he doesn't cry. Not sincere enough. He was flipped by me a few somersaults, got up and knelt down again. I bastard son of a bitch. I'm not human. I deserve to die. I really know I was wrong. Please let me go. This time I cried, should be crying in pain. After all, my face is still hanging. This is a huge agreement of horses. I shifted the camera to the other two people. Unexpectedly, these two small things are quite something. They came up and kowtowed vigorously. One by one said I'm a beast. To live is to waste air. To die is to pollute the land. Half dead and inactive. Even looking at it annoys me. Another person said we, a family of 3, are all beasts, but got interrupted halfway through. Our ancestors, descendants, and grandchildren are all animals. My family has been like this since the Qin dynasty. Why is it being brought up again? So I'm dissatisfied with Huang Hong again. I just glanced at him. Look at your cleverness. Imitate others, and start kowtowing as well. Nobody in my family deserves to live in this world. The sound of 3 people kowtowing, imagining together to have fun in the quiet room. I translated. After filming the video and posting it online, it quickly sparked discussions. Aren't these 3 little bastards? What's going on? Still can't see clearly. They've been exposed. Haha. The blogger is a good person. Finally can sleep well tonight. Damn it, couldn't sleep a few days ago. Seeing everyone relieved, I also breathed a sigh of relief. They woke up, all 3 of them with the same image, looking at me, hopefully. Did we go back, Brother Pimao? I laughed and asked if I ever said I would let you go, turning around to post online, offering a high reward for a large quantity, 30,000 yuan for a car. Soon someone contacted me, said they have a large quantity of advertisement. But can this money be targeted? I immediately paid a deposit. He said he wouldn't even eat anymore and will arrange for me right now. When I arrived, I saw that there was an abandoned swimming pool in this community. Now it comes in handy. Can it swim? I kicked their heads, prepared only one surprise. The forest was filled with the swimming pool. The pool is filled with yellow and green feces. The scene was so spectacular. The strong smell almost smoked my eyes closed. The old brother who sold himself was very loyal. He also gave me a pair of goggles and the thickest mask. I've never been choked. I took back their 3 arms, then dragged them to the poolside. They vomited fiercely. Covering the mouth also drills out from the nostrils, especially the yellow-red fever. Almost fell headfirst into the cesspool. I waited for them to almost finish spitting. Squatting down, with great interest asked if it smelled a little fearful, powerless. A little doctor. I'm like, this is the swimming pool I prepared for you. How about the specifications, okay? Many times, let us retreat. It's not the external predicament or challenge. Brother, don't joke. Who's joking with you? I just raised my hand to give him a slap. Huang Hongyu looked, and I took the lead in covering. It seems that I have gained the upper hand in experience, so I kicked him in the head. Do you want to survive? Well, I'll give you a chance. This is a swimming competition. Whoever wins. I took out a gun from my pocket. Actually, it's a toy gun that shoots bubbles. When breaking up with my ex-girlfriend, I sneaked out of his room. But I believe, with the great impression I left before, now I'm carrying a rocket launcher. They will believe it's true. Sure enough, they saw through the mask, trembling incessantly last time. I am reborn. Only the first place can survive. Don't. Huang Hong hugged my big head. Let us go. I promised not to call the police. You have family, right? Think about them. Huang Hong's words really reminded me. I do have something to say to that woman. Dial the phone. The call is picked up, but before I could speak, the call was hung up. Don't pick on me at this time. I called 7 or 8 times in a row. Finally, he answered with an impatient tone. What do you want? I don't have much time left. In short, sell my house in a few days. Split the luggage and a little boy equally. Split the luggage and a little boy equally. He's not my illegitimate child. We only broke up a month ago. Where would I get an illegitimate child from? The child is quite pitiful. Any help is better than none. Children's address and property authorization letter. I put them all on the table in the living room. Remember where to go. Do you still have the key to my house? What's wrong with Lida? Want to use this compound to make a show? I have not divorced. Then about the bank, there is a little cash, not much, less than 70,000. Just spent 30,000 today, less than 40,000 left. This is all my house's spider plant on the balcony. Help me water it on time. There is an orange cat in the neighborhood. Just became a mother recently, very much in need of nutrition. I put the cat food in the TV cabinet. His bowl is under the pine tree in the northeast corner of the community. I was so angry that I went to ask him why at night. I took a deep breath. That's it. There's nothing else to add. Anyway, if the police ask us about our relationship later, you just say it doesn't matter. I don't want to cause you trouble, even after I die. What Chen? What implicatingly Dawe? What you went to find a prostitute? I am speechless. Hung up the phone. All the aftermath has been taken care of. I have no ties, no worries. Has still crazily calling me. I took out the SIM card and threw it away. Put in a new one. Then put it down, tapped the yellow and red face. Little thing. Now I'll give you two options. Either play with me, or I'll kill you now. 3 people stood by the shore. Expressions vivid. The cesspool still worries. I set up my phone next to me. Started the live broadcast channel. Camera on them. Then picked up a long stick. Standing by to supervise. What the hell? Yellow. The live room came quickly. The first audience is Fenba. I was dumbfounded. What did Grandpa see? Look at you guys. The Hong Kong people are not the ones in the news the day before yesterday. Had a cool live stream. The popularity of the live room is growing rapidly. Then came a large influx, flying up in anger. I can't see clearly. What are you still doing there? They are still nauseous and retching. There is nothing left in the stomach to vomit. But still, retching with the book. I'm too lazy to chat with them. Kick them all down, one by one. Flop into the thick, sticky mire. Contact with the surface is like pouring hot oil on water, crackling and exploding. Oh dear, I'm gonna die. So stinky, so stinky. So stinky, they still want to return to the shore. Just touched the shore with their hands. I just smashed down with a stick, and then turned around and took a watermelon knife. This time I used a stick. Next time it'll be a knife. I'm just on the shore, thinking about going over. No nonsense. They looked at each other, helpless. Holding my nose, I trudged on. The first 50 meters are the hardest. What did I say? What does it mean? Don't stick your head out when you go down. Several people hesitated again. I hit one of them on the head with a stick. With full force, the person immediately let out a pig-like scream, covering his head and drilling into the cesspool. Screaming miserably, the other 2 also cleverly, one by one, dived into the feces. In less than a second, they vomited it out while crying. But if they dared to stick their heads out, I just gave them a blow, as if playing a real-life Mercedes hitting the groundhog game. Soon their faces were full of tears, their noses and eyes filled with sticky porridge-like substance, struggling to swim 50 meters. I changed my mind again. The ones behind have to swim. Anyway, they have eaten a belly full of feces. It seems that their acceptance ability has also been trained. Support without saying a word to change actions immediately. Especially Huang Hong's little arms waving like a top. Looks like a real first. But what am I? Am I a pervert? Am I here to torture the 2 of them? I hit him on the head with a stick. He almost passed out on the spot, covering his head for a long time before catching his breath. Bro, what's wrong? His tone is still pitiful. You are really aggrieved. I said, are you doing a breaststroke? Yes, it's a damn frog. It's a damn frog. How do you call it? After some thought, gently ribbit. Gently ribbit. And then I was hit with a stick. Why don't you call? The other 2 immediately shot, swimming and croaking along the way. This is a true frog lover. Do you understand? Didn't finish speaking. Split the water and flood the door. Don't watch the barrage for a while. The long friends are already catching up with 2. Go yellow hair floating dung water. Dogs looking for waves, yellow waves, and big separating water. Water is rushing down. Flowing water will not return. Do you think they can invent it if they pull it in to eat again? Is it considered an invention? There are movements, brothers. Stop talking and eat. Don't be sentimental upstairs. I'm also eating, planning to record the screen. In the future, it will be used as electronic pickled vegetables. Gaga is unexpectedly fragrant. Huang Hong is indeed the one with the best physical strength. How can Jabu still be the boss among the scraps? When he was about to reach the shore, the other two were still far behind. With eyes full of arrogance, he laughed wildly and rushed towards the shore. I was just feeling very unhappy. I immediately poked his chest with a stick on the spot to stop him from leaving. "What's wrong, bro? Your actions were improper. Your result is cancelled." His face suddenly turned red. How did I act improperly? Suddenly, as if remembering something, I couldn't help but laugh at him. One stick hit him on the head. "You melon, your mother. I say irregular is regular." He was about to go crazy, yet he dares not lay a finger on me. His voice was shaking. "You're blowing a black whistle." I nodded. "What I say goes." Then I asked the other two little animals, "Do you agree to cancel his grades? In the face of life and death matters. What do fair weather friends count for?" The two of them immediately nodded like crazy. Huang Hong didn't dare to lay a finger on me, but dare to hit them, immediately turned back, fighting with Benz and two others. It's just right to laugh. Let's have an overtime game. Whoever wins, the winner goes up. Those two might have been bullied by him. For a moment, they dared not fight back. I said, "It's already this time, and you are still not fighting back. Don't care about your life anymore." They finally nodded at me and immediately launched a crazy counterattack. The salary is calculated like this: fell together and rolled around. Don't know how much boiling water has been drunk. After a while, they exhaust their strength, lying motionless in the cesspool, scared to death. There is no good place left on the whole body. Actually, I never intended to let them live. Watching the torment is almost enough. Tear off the clothes, tie the knife to the hand in preparation. But as they were about to make a move, suddenly the phone rang. "This number is newly activated. There's no reason anyone would know." I wasn't planning to answer. "The result hasn't connected yet." "Li Dawi, don't be impulsive. You don't need to get involved with those three little rascals." I said, "Who are you?" "Who I am is not important. What's important is you. You right now, me. I will be there soon. I will help you find a lawyer for what happens next, as long as no one is killed. This matter can be big or small. I have my ways." I was stunned for a moment. "Why do you want to help me?" The other party smiled. "You and that little boy are unrelated. Why help others? Hurry up, let's go. Don't waste time. We've been helping you resist for a long time. The police will be here soon. Trust me once, bro. I really want to save you. I plan to exchange 1 for 3 before the visa. Nothing to lose. Even if I have to go to hell, I can still bring 3 cushioning shells." This dude gave me new hope. Anyway, I have terminal cancer. The worst result is just being caught and shot. But if you want to take a chance, maybe there is another way out. I dropped the knife, glanced at the small creatures who were barely alive 3 feet away, walking on the steep edge. "There is a small road to the southeast. I have prepared a car for you there. There is cash in the car. Drive to the pier now. A boat is waiting for you. The captain is my friend. Then you go to Chiang Mai, Thailand. I will inform my brothers there to arrange a job for you. You should never think about coming back in this lifetime. If there are elderly people and children at home who need care, let me know." Saying everything, but I dare to guarantee no one dares to bully them in front of me. The text messages on the phone appeared one after another. My eyes were sore after reading them. Almost shed tears like a man. There are still many good people in the world. I followed his instructions. Sure enough, I saw a car on the road to the southeast. The key was inserted in the car's door and opened. There was a bag on the passenger seat, with all cash inside. A rough estimate is around 300,000. Drove out smoothly without any obstacles. Encountered cops checking cars on the highway. Beside, there's an old acquaintance, Mr. Huang. Looks like he's looking for me. Strange thing is, the cops are just going through the motions. The cars in front are given a casual glance and let through. At that moment, Mr. Huang insisted on someone lowering their window to peek inside. Looks like they were thoroughly searched by several people. The cops didn't care, just stood by and watched. Then it was my turn. The cop and I locked eyes through the car window. Guess he recognized me. He paused for a moment, then looked away pretending he hadn't seen me. Huang Dayong kept knocking on my car window. Don't always disrupt the road. The police stopped him. Huang Dayong grinned. What if that's the case? If we catch you, you can get off work earlier, right? It's scorching hot. The police frowned. Who makes such a request? I rolled down the window. Baldy, do you have something to find me? In an instant, both of them were stunned. Huang Dayong jumped up and grabbed my collar. I got you. I got you. You wait to die. The police officer looked complicated. He stared at me without saying a word. I twisted Huang Dayong and forcefully pulled him under his arm. Huang Dayong cried out in pain and rolled on the ground. Saying, let go. Saying, police comrade. Look, he hit me. Give him a sentence. It's your provocation. Taking off the police uniform. The hat, this is self-defense. I got off the car and voluntarily stretched out my hands. Do you need to rely on it? The police officer shook his head and opened the door of the police car for me. Get in the police car. My phone vibrated again. Bro, what's wrong with you? Why not take the back road? I have arranged everything for you. Why do you have to do such a silly thing? I replied, brother, but I am already in the late stage of cancer. Not dying in a foreign land. I did think about escaping just now, but halfway through driving, I calmed down. Anyway, for someone who is going to die, early or late, it's all the same. Then regret. Why didn't I just finish those 3 people earlier? The other end of the phone was silent for a long time. Then said again, I'll think of a solution. At the police station, I was taken aback. There were people everywhere. It was bustling like a market. But as soon as I appeared, they immediately quieted down. Everyone was staring at me, and a few girls' eyes slowly turned red. I was at a loss. The police took me to a room to make a record, completely different from what's on TV. Not just not relying on me, but also went to the cafeteria to buy a hearty boxed lunch, saying I hadn't eaten anything from yesterday until now. First, eat something as a cushion, even when recording a statement refusing to eat. Only later did I find out my live broadcast was paid to be screened, exploded on the big screen in the mall, and went viral on the internet. A piece of news that was already losing its popularity was brought back to attention. An online writer named Lee Renzo started a poll online. Do you think Lee Dawei's behavior is guilty? 3 options: guilty, not just not guilty. Further strengthening is needed. 30% of people chose not guilty. The remaining 70% believe that my advice for our country. I didn't divide the netizens in the comment area into 2 camps. One group believes that cheers and shouts for the belated justice are meaningless. The law should accommodate conscience. Request for leniency. The other group holds a completely different view. They are seeking for the same cherry blossom event as Detective Black Cat. 10 minutes after the start of the live broadcast, someone in the barrage called on everyone to call the police. This way, police resources are unexpectedly occupied, which can delay my time, so everyone rushed into the police station. Lost dog report to the police. Argue with girlfriend, call the police. There are also people with hungry stomachs. Even if can't find a reason, just say the policeman is usually too hard. Please come to my house for a cup of tea. The police can't laugh or cry. This is too improper. So the person changed his tune. I lost a glass ball 10 years ago. Please find it for me. Okay, protecting people's property is our responsibility. Huang Dayong listened from the side, almost spit out an old mouthful of blood. The police said that a glass marble is more important than my son. My son almost lost his life. Then an old lady gave him a kick. Didn't you see others asking to close the door? Is there any manners? Also cutting in line, so I could slowly play my birth for such a long time. It's really a blessing to everyone. After finishing the record, I was locked up. The police specifically instructed not to bully newcomers. Otherwise, if the words are half said, but it's already enough. So everyone was especially warm to me, and it made the bed spit out again, being massaged again. Almost thought I entered a foot bath shop. My butt is not even warm yet. Someone outside is looking for me. A man in a suit, wearing gold-rimmed glasses, claimed to be a lawyer, offering me tax-free legal assistance. I said, my situation is a bit difficult, almost as heavy as a mountain of guilt. He pushed his glasses down, laughing, saying, isn't it all man-made? Mr. Lee, I am very confident in my professional abilities, and I hope you can trust me more. I said, then I'll trouble you. He patted my shoulder. What are you doing? Too fucking cool. 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 This high IQ profession also speaks dirty words. I turned my head and saw the police, nodded silently. Back to the room in less than 2 minutes. The nurse just said a beginning. Someone found that this is his ex-girlfriend. His eyes were red from crying. Lita, you can come. How can you do this kind of thing? I said, anyway, I'm going to die. What can't you do? The face in the actual photo is mine. My radar cancer. 5-5 thunderstrikes. It took me a few minutes to find my voice back. Zhou Lingling, do you have a problem? You usually show off your photos. Post on WeChat moments, that's fine. Now you even want to be sicker than me. Do you want to give me a hard time in the future? He cried and said, I just wanted to scare you. Who let you smoke so much every day? I just wanted to help you quit smoking. When he said that, I wanted to take a few puffs to calm down. Things have come to this. What else can be done? It's over for me. I said, I won't give you the house. Keep it for finding a wife in the future. I'll go with you. We're both in our 30s. Where can we find a wife? He cried and said, Li Dawe wants to kick me out for you. Is this the reason? I said, didn't we break up? We've been together for 5 years. First fight, first breakup. I sighed. But now this situation. The policeman, who had been standing silently beside me all this time, whispered in my ear, Are you a tiger? People have spoken to this extent. Why wouldn't I understand? In my heart, emotions are complex. Everything is in a mess. Originally carefree and untroubled, I could have died a hero's death and been considered a brave man. But now my eyes are teary. To a man shed tears. How did it come to this crying? The lawyer left and returned, instantly igniting a great hope within me. Brother, could my situation possibly take a turn for the better? He waved his hand. I felt a jolt in my heart. What is wrong with him? You're safe. He took out a document from the bag. Take a look at what this is. My mind is not enough. Just tell me directly. What's going on? Now my mind is buzzing. This is a settlement agreement. The other party dropped the lawsuit. My mood feels like riding a roller coaster. Suddenly flew to the... What's going on here? The lawyer glanced at the police, shrugged, as if to say he didn't know either. By the way, is that gun of yours a toy gun? Cap gun, or is it real? Then it's even easier to handle. The Public Security Bureau won't prosecute you either. No sooner had the lawyer finished speaking, the police opened the door for me, and it was smooth sailing all the way. After completing the procedures, I came out of the detention center. The whole process took just over an hour. I haven't even had a chance to chat with a few old buddies inside, and I was released. There were many people waiting for me at the door. The father of the little boy stood in the front and came to shake my hand. For a long time he couldn't speak, his eyes shining brightly. I patted his shoulder and asked about the child. He received help from many kind people and has been transferred to the hospital for treatment. The hospital even waived the medical expenses. I smiled and said, that's good. Even if I can't get out, it's worth it. Someone paid to save the lives of 3 animals. Either sign the settlement agreement, or they will compensate you with their feces. The lawyer whispered in my ear. I turned around to see them staring straight ahead without blinking, as if they hadn't said anything just now. That reminds me, it's time to go check on those people. After all, we've been fighting for so long, and we've developed feelings too. So without going home, I headed straight to the hospital. The 3 of them are famous now. Asking where Huang Hong is, they didn't know the ward, but as soon as I mentioned the stag beetle trio, the nurse immediately remembered. Are you going too? So, as I reached the entrance to the ward, I was interrupted. Sure enough, when I saw a person carrying a door outside, staring at the person inside without speaking, it seems to be worried about disturbing other patients. Both of them didn't speak. The quality of everyone is really accurate. I pushed open the door of the ward. As soon as the three little animals saw me, they were scared and rolled off the bed, hiding under the bed, holding their heads and trembling. Don't hit me. Don't hit me. Huang Dayong stood by, glaring fiercely. What are you doing here again? I glanced at him briefly, and he immediately took a step back. Actions are very serious. Saw Huang Hong crying and asking why he didn't go to jail. Didn't you say he wouldn't be released in his whole life? That was your dad lying to you. I smiled and took out the format and episode. I'm fine. Do you know these characters? If you don't know, let me explain. This is the format and brief description. Huang Hong suddenly cried loudly. An 18 or 19 years old kid, crying like boiling water. I just opened my phone ready to record. He laughed again, laughing with a hand on his belly. Haha. No problem, haha. I ate shit. It's still okay. Ha ha ha, I love eating shit. Some people quietly speculate if he's gone mad. In the end, all three little animals went mad, have a fanatical preference for their own excrement. After defecating, they eat. Eat, then defecate, can no longer eat other foods. Huang Dayong doesn't allow it. But the children won't eat. Response to urine and phlegm. Later, they were all sent to a mental hospital. I heard that they were being educated inside, because some big brothers in the hospital were not satisfied with them eating shit. Even the young boy received the best treatment. His mental state gradually improved. Last week I went to see him. He can now talk to me normally, completely normal. It's just a matter of time. I also started to quit smoking. I use sugar instead of cigarettes. The effect is significant. Just gained 30 pounds in 2 months. When taking wedding photos, I accidentally ripped apart someone's suit. To say or not to say, it's a bit sad. After all, he used to be a man with 8-pack abs. Joe Lingling comforted me, saying it's okay. When you are outside, you have to rely on yourself. I can help you edit. Just need to look good in the social circle. My mind is in a mess. And the photo is edited. End of the full text.